believe I'm live. Yeah, my GPU is maxing. Let's go. Test, right? This should be fixed. Okay, welcome to the free market news, everyone. Second, we're just getting set up here. Okay. Welcome to the free market news. The show is going to be rooted in market principles, what's happening in the world, essentially. You're early. You're the first couple of people here. So what this is going to be is we're going to do structured streams every couple weeks. I'm hearing myself. I got to figure this out. Okay, there we go. So what the goal of this stream really is to bring you guys what is happening in the world before the media reports it based on free market principles. How are these markets moving? Why are these markets moving? Break it down with viral tweets, what's trending, what do the people actually think? The crowd is usually smarter than the news. That's a fact. So we're going to try to break it down here, talk about some of these trading markets, what I think, what you guys think, what's going on in the world, essentially. Is anyone, I got one viewer here. Is that me or is that someone in chat? I don't know. All right, let's dive into it. So the government shutdown, obviously still ongoing. I haven't been following this as tightly as I possibly could be, but it sounds like there's not much effort on either side to get it moving. And why would there be? Because the Republicans have this mm, this thought that they want a smaller government. They want to fire people. They want to let people go. Why would they ever be snappy quick to get this back up and running? I think this can push out a long time, especially with some of the Trump things that are going on. Just the absolute hatred for him. I think this can go a long time. So there's been some talk about the SNAP benefits and how 42 million will lose them. I don't really know much about this. So let's read here. As the U.S. government shutdown reaches it's 32 days already. That's crazy. Federal judges have ordered the Trump administration to use contingency funds for partial SNAP payments, preventing a full halt for 42 million recipients, including 16 million children. So what is this SNAP? What are SNAP payments? Are these like medical benefits? The standoff originated from Republicans insisting on funding to, tying funding to spending cuts and immigration measures, which Democrats opposed as the extraneous. States are offering temporary support, but experts caution of potential funding shortfalls by mid-November. So, what is like? Where does this message of potential funding shortfalls come into play? I wonder. We got to figure that out. Like, what is? I don't know about you, but I've been seeing some people on the that are living in the U.S. all the time. They say nothing's changed. So, what does the federal government actually do? Where does all that money come? So what are the lines right now? Let's take a look. So when will it end? The highest percentage is 16th plus, which is still another 2 weeks out. I would honestly bet. So would that put us at the longest one ever? What is the longest? I think it would. I remember seeing this because Trump's obviously done these in the past and has been president while these have happened in the past. So I wasn't sure. What are the longest ones? Wikipedia. Is this trustworthy? Here we go. This is what we want here. So, cost to government. I wonder how. Like, why was it only 700,000? Oh, it was 1 day. Days. So 35 is the longest, and that was also no, it was 2018 after Trump. 35. That can't be all of them, right? There has to be further back ones. But it's definitely looking like it's going to be over this. And once you kind of take off that cap of when the government potentially shuts down, it's in market discovery. Like I think you take the over here. I think so. There's just two markets here. Do you think it's going to finish before here, and then you got to try to guess the date, or do you think it's going to happen after this November 16th date, which is 2 weeks out? So you have to try to figure out which one you're going to take there. I would take the over here, just because it doesn't seem like there's making any progress at all. Like there's just nothing's been changed at all. So why can't I go back here? Oh, my PC might not like this. Jesus Christ. We're trying to we have one viewer on Twitch. Forgive me here. I'm trying to figure out how to use all this stuff. Why are Southerners stereotyped as racist when most Black Americans live in the South? Surely Black people would just choose to live somewhere else if that were the case. Let's see what this one has underneath it. So what does this chart say right here? Can't really see it. I shouldn't have done that. Holy shit. So I gotta do PC too, guys. So we're waiting to set that up. So are we live on Kick right now? I think we are. Let's just check. We are. Zero viewers, brutal. Oh, I see there's an error there. All right, back to this story, guys. So obviously there's a high percentage, like 45% in some of these counties in the U.S. And those are stereotypically like there's no big, like, what are these? This is like Tennessee, like this is Tennessee, so this is Mississippi. Yeah, like, okay, so like this belt right here, and then obviously down Florida, some out west here. Some cool features over here. Okay, Polymarket's still not cooperating here. Like, come on. Piece of fucking garbage. What are we doing right now? Okay. I think Diego just might have tuned in there. Welcome, Diego. Thank you for tuning in. We are just starting off here. But my PC doesn't like it right now. I don't have it changed to the new one, so it doesn't like, we're maxed out the graphics right now. Does it look good? Comment in chat if you can hear me. Like, it's just not loading, which is super annoying. That's why you bug it out here now. We're just talking about how why are Southerners stereotyped as racist when most Black Americans live in the South? I don't think Southerners are more racist. I think it's the Democrats that are more racist because they think that Black people need handouts, and they don't. They are totally capable of anything. So I think this is wrong. It's just, maybe it's associated by the Democrats, but not by most people. I mean, I don't, at least. Like, I don't know. This is a kind of a crazy one to start off here on. We're gonna move on. Anyways, time in the market beats timing the market. Holds $35 billion in cash without cash, waiting for an opportunity to buy the dip. Is he stupid? It's got a point. It's got a point. $35 billion in cash for Berkshire Hathaway, I mean, is insanity. You think about the run rate on that. Like the run rate on that and how much it's devaluing. The problem with it, and this is my opinion, where do you invest $350 billion? That's the market cap of pretty much every company out there besides like three. Well, besides like 10. How do you find an investment for that where you're going to beat the index? It's essentially impossible, right? That's where I think this is this is why I think Berkshire is honestly a bad bet at this point. That might be controversial, but I actually don't think that Berkshire is going to do anything. You can't be you're the holder in a lot of these companies. They do the value investing that they've been talked about forever. It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work. It's not going to work. The cash that they're sitting on is impossible to invest. Berkshire cash sets record as profits rise, signaling caution ahead of Buffett exit. So Buffett's already gone, I believe. Maybe that's wrong. But like 22% over whatever 80 years is insane for Berkshire. But like sold more than it bought for so Apple, American Express. I know he was a big investor in Apple. God damn it. My internet hates this. CPU at 100%. Yeah, I'm gonna need to switch to the other PC next time. CPU RAM 95%. Graphics card's fine, but it's my CPU doesn't like it. Okay, I'll keep going here. Like, if I was a Berkshire holder right here, I'd be very concerned that they're not investing this money. Like, they've just been sitting on it when the currency's been devaluing at 5% a year. And they talk about timing the market versus timing the market. We gotta see if we can close the tasks here. Yeah, okay. So my CPU is getting used up by a lot of Google Chrome, apparently. Let's see what we can close. So let's see, like, if there's any. We can't get Polymarket, but see if we can get back in here. Like, Berkshire hasn't been, and I see there's an error with this freaking thing now. Berkshire hasn't been performing well. Like, so will it beat equity earnings here? So when is their earnings call? So on November 1, so they released today, did they? So 50%, 50%, and then I guess they released already today, and I assume they beat earnings. Street consensus estimate is resolution seeker. So these are just weird. Like this is a non-market right here. One yes holder. I wonder who this guy is. Huh? Who's this guy? I bet you he's got some inside knowledge. See his bets. Katy Perry and Justin Trudeau confirmed relationship by October 31st. That's a losing bet. That was confirmed, right? That is insane, by the way. Politician in Canada now dating Katy Perry. He was dating some other girl or whatever, and that just came out. It's insane. Like, he just had to be in the spotlight that bad, right? Negative GDP growth in Q3, which is a no, right? So how do I see if this is a loser? Yeah, so that was a no. Negative GDP. We had negative GDP growth in Q1, and then booming after that. After the tariff first shock, and then it was just kind of straight up after that. It was insane, actually. Yeah, but see if there's any other markets related to Berkshire. I'm sure there are here. Or Buffett, maybe. Only the two. How do you spell his name? Richest person on December 31st, Warren Buffett, 1%. I believe this is still Elon, right? Yeah, Elon. Larry Ellison had it, I believe, yeah. Larry Ellison took it over, which is crazy. Wait, did he not? This is not an old enough market. Yeah, like I think it's like, yeah, like the beginning of this month. He took it over. And now it's back to Elon, which is what? What's Elon's Elon no longer richest person before 2026? I doubt it. I don't see him not not being the richest person. If he loses it somehow, he'll just find a way to take it back. He's like, I mean, you think about the political side quest, quote unquote side quest that he went on. He just doubled down on something, buy a company, and he just get funding from other people like Larry Ellison, and just everyone wants to get a piece of him. So you can literally give him as much money as you want. I might actually take some of this action, just bet the no. And it's 91%. What is this? This seems like a free money trade, to be honest. Don't fade Elon. Can't be more like the most. If you fade Elon, it's a losing bet. Everyone who's ever faded Elon has lost money. Don't fade Elon. Small tip yesterday was blah blah blah. Cool, cool. All right, let's see if we can get onto some trending stuff here. So this one I wanted to talk about. For anyone that doesn't know, there's a big uh there's a big election for mayor in New York going down. Zohran Mamdani against Andrew Cuomo. Essentially the only two horses in the race. And as you can see, only one horse in the race. So Mamdani is an up-and-coming Democratic candidate. He's essentially a communist. He proposes communal grocery stores, insane taxes, wealth taxes, insane taxes on the high incomers, and in New York City, which is supposed to be the symbol for capitalism in the world, is going to have a communist running the city. Essentially, I don't know when this is taking place. See this dashboard. So this happens in 3 days now. 3 days, and as you can see, it's essentially guaranteed. It's 94% chance that Mamdani is going to win. So this is going to happen. There's almost no chance. We had this spike here. I think this was when Mamdani came out and said something crazy, like insane, which just shows people what he actually probably wants to do. And then it just swung back right up to 94%. He's held this lead forever. And obviously those demographics are primarily young people who can't afford a lot of things in New York. Obviously New York's a really high cost of living area. Projected voter turnout, this is cool. Expected to be higher than previous elections among young voters. So that just shows how much people coming out for that young vote for Mamdani to try to get new things, which is insane to me. I mean, will Mamdani be endorsed by? Okay, so people can endorse him. I guess Barack hasn't. He's only expected to win by 6%, but I mean, in an election like this, that could be a staggering amount. 45% of the vote. I don't know anything about Slivia or whatever, or Sliwa, but we can find some stuff out here. See what the comments are. Will he win second place? Is there any difference if I don't think there's any difference if they get first or second here. But let's look at the market here. So we're going to look for Mondami on Twitter. Shit. We're going to go back to that. Sorry. Where the fuck did that just go? Am I allowed to swear on YouTube? I think so, right? I probably gotta... No, I'm gonna get censored if I do that. I should bleep that out. So this is obviously the aim. Democratic nominee for mayor in New York City. Crazy person. Absolutely insanity that people actually think that this is a good idea. That if they tax these people, the money's just not just going to go out and they're going to be way worse off. Insanity to me. Like, the truth is that the entire world is watching Zoran's campaign. The reason is that people want to know the answer to one very simple question, and that is, in the year 2025, is it possible for ordinary people to come together and defeat these oligarchs? Bernie Sanders, I mean, I haven't hated Bernie. He has some good points, but like, Zoran is just at another level. I haven't got this algorithm trained yet, so I'm going to get a lot of, like, what is this? Top from Sarmacute, yeah. Like, the hypocrisy is kind of crazy, right? Like, talking about these people and how they get all these money, and then it's just like they're taking money on the side. They're getting money the same. It's just all a game of who's worse and things like that. Like, everyone's gonna play the same game. There's no, and I don't blame them. It's the game that how the game is designed to be played. So it's gonna be the way it goes. All right, we're gonna follow some of these based. Fuck fascism and free Palestine. So I'm assuming that's gonna be a left-leaning one. I shouldn't swear. I gotta stop. Second, guys. But anyways, if you're in here right now, give me a sub. I don't know who's in here. Got three followers. How long have we been live for? 30 minutes. We're gonna need to bring this up real quick. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Okay, let's go back to some of these Mondami stuff.
In a quiet voice, he told me I did not have to tell people I was Muslim. His eyes kind, his beard proud, and his face heavy with the implication of the unsaid. I had not learned the lesson that he had been taught, time and again. It is the lesson that safety could only be found in the shadows of our city, that it is in those shadows alone where Muslims could embrace the fullness of our own identities, and that if we are to emerge from them, then it is in those shadows where we must leave our faith. These are lessons that so many Muslim New Yorkers have been taught again and again. And over these last few days, these are the lessons that have become the closing message of Andrew Cuomo, Curtis Sliwa, and Eric Adams. Yesterday, Andrew Cuomo laughed and agreed.
See, it's just all attack and smear campaign. He doesn't actually say anything of substance. He just says, look how bad these other guys are. I'm going to give you free stuff.
When a radio show host said that I would cheer another 9/11. Yesterday, Eric Adams said that we can't let our city become Europe. He compared me to violent extremists, and he lied when he said that our movement seeks to burn churches and destroy communities.
You really want to be Europe? Europe is in shambles. Europe's in one of the worst economic places ever. You want to turn New York City into Europe? Okay, say goodbye to all the riches that you guys have already. It's all gonna move out to Florida.
The day before that, Curtis Sliwa slandered me from a debate stage when he claimed that I supported global jihad. And every day, Super PAC ads imply that I'm a terrorist or mock the way I eat, push polls that ask New Yorkers questions like whether they support invented proposals to make halal mandatory, or political cartoons that represent my candidacy as an airplane hurtling towards
I actually didn't know he was Muslim. Makes sense, like the name, obviously, but I didn't know he's Muslim.
the World Trade Center. But I do not want to use this moment to speak to them any further. I want to use this moment to speak to the Muslims of the city. I want to speak to the memory of my aunt, who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab. I want to speak to the Muslim city worker, whether they teach in our schools or walk the beat for the NYPD. New Yorkers who all make daily sacrifices on behalf of the city only to see their leaders spit in their face. I want to speak to every child who grows up in New York marked as the other, who is randomly selected in a way that rarely feels random, who feels that they carry a stain that can never quite be cleaned. Growing up in the shadow of 9/11, I have known what it means to live with an undercurrent of suspicion. I will always remember the disdain I faced, the way my name could immediately become Muhammad, and how I could return to my city only to be asked in a double-mirrored room at the airport if I had any plan of attacking it. And since I was very young, I have known that I was spared the worst of it. I was never pressured to be an informant like a classmate of mine. I've never had the word terrorist spray painted on my garage as one of my staff had to endure. My mosque has never been set on fire. To be Muslim in New York.
It's a good strategy. He's trying to get the "I'm sorry" vote, which is going to work for him, especially in a Democratic stronghold like New York. He's playing into the emotions of people, especially with all the immigration there. It's obviously been a very successful campaign, and I got to give it to him. He's a great speaker. He's a great speaker. Do I agree with his ideas? No. I don't agree with the taxation, the policies on wealth distribution that's going to kill capitalism in New York, but he's going to win.
Is to expect indignity. But indignity does not make us distinct. There are many New Yorkers who face it. It is the tolerance of that indignity that does. Since I announced my candidacy for mayor 1 year ago yesterday, I've sought to be the candidate fighting for everyday New Yorkers, not simply the Muslim candidate. I've carried these indignities with me each moment of this race, doing so all the while as the first major Muslim candidate for mayor in New York City history. I thought that if I could build a campaign of universality, I could define myself as the leader I aspire to be, one representing every New Yorker, no matter their skin color or religion. I thought if I worked hard enough.
You say no matter their skin color and religion, but that's literally the first part of your entire speech was about skin color and religion. Just don't talk about it. That's how it all happens, is you talk about it. Like, I don't care. No one should.
It would allow me to be that leader. And I thought that if I behaved well enough or bit my tongue enough in the face of racist, baseless attacks while returning back to my central message, it would allow me to be more than just my faith. I was wrong. No amount of redirection is ever enough. In doing this, I have told the wide-eyed young boy in Jackson Heights or the first-time voter in Parkchester that they too should remain in the shadows. I am becoming that same uncle who took me aside. No more. The dream of every Muslim is simply to be treated the same as any other New Yorker. And yet for too long we have been told to ask for less than that, and to be satisfied with whatever little we receive. No more. For as long as we have lived, we have known that no matter what anyone says, there are still certain forms of hate acceptable in this city today. Islamophobia is not seen as inexcusable. One can incite violence.
He just keeps saying that it's not going to be a topic. It shouldn't be. It doesn't matter. Then he keeps bringing it up. Just goes back to that. Back to that.
Violence against our mosques and know that condemnation will never come. Elected officials in this city can sell T-shirts calling for my deportation without fear of any accountability. The consequences
It's called the First Amendment, free speech.
are stark. More than 1 million Muslim New Yorkers exist in this city only to be made to feel as if guests in our own home. No more. We stand on the precipice of an election, but that is not what today is about. We know that in less than 2 weeks, we will say goodbye to a disgraced former governor and our current indicted mayor. The bigger question is whether we are willing to say goodbye to something much larger. It is whether we are willing to say goodbye to anti-Muslim sentiment that has grown so endemic in our city that when we hear it, we know not whether the words were said by a Republican or by a Democrat. We know only that it was spoken in the language of the politics of this city. In an era of ever-diminishing bipartisanship, Islamophobia has emerged as one of the few areas of agreement. And while I appreciate all who have rushed to my defense over the past 2 days, I think of those Muslims in this city who do not have the luxury of being the Democratic nominee, who do not have the luxury of being deemed worthy of solidarity. While my opponents in this race have brought this hatred to the forefront, this is just a glimpse into what so many Muslims have had to endure every day across the 5 boroughs that we call home. And while it would be easy to say that this is not who we are as a city, we know the truth. This is who we have allowed ourselves to become.
But like, so what are you going to change? The only thing that you can change to allow people to not feel what they want to say is by restricting speech, restricting what people can say, punishing those who say what they believe, whether it be wrong or right. I, I don't think that what he's saying is wrong necessarily in terms of people are, yes, but that's also somewhat their rights. They have the rights to express themselves. So do you, like you're doing right now.
A question lies before each of us. Will we continue to accept a narrow definition of what it means to be a New Yorker that makes smaller the number of those guaranteed a life of dignity? Will we remain in the shadows, or will we together step into the light? There are 11 days remaining until Election Day. I will be a Muslim
This is
man in New
old.
York City each of those 11.
He's obviously connecting with his base extremely well. So 11 days ago, what was it? October 25th. Yeah, I mean, he's had it locked. He said something here and it kind of dipped, and then, but this was back in the summer. Oh, we got some big events here. I didn't realize this was a thing. So Zohan Mandami, a candidate from New York City mayor, faces scrutiny over his colleague's application where he identified as Asian and African American, prompting Eric Adams to demand Columbia University release his admission records. Meanwhile, Mandami leads polls at 35 to 70%, but his supporters protests, including burning the American flag on Independence Day. Like, exactly, right? Like, that's what's happening out there. Like, so you can click here. I'm sorry, you guys can't really see this, can you? Okay, yeah. So like this one is it's crazy. Like I want to find some of his crazy tweets. Because I've heard some things. Like I honestly aren't informed enough on this. I've heard things like from the All In Pod and stuff like that. That some of the stuff he's saying is crazy. Says he will move to Florida. I've heard a lot of people say that. Anthony Papliano has said that. I've heard him say that. He lives in New York City right now. Why would you stay there? You can live there 5 and 3/4 months of the year, and then go to Florida for 5 months, 6 months, and that's what a lot of people do. And their tax base is going to go way down, and so will the quality of living. Yeah, it's over. Anyways, let's move on. So I don't really know anything about that, to be honest. Well, Israel strike Lebanon on November 1. So there's been escalating tension. I am live on other platforms, I believe. Yeah. Escalating tensions here in the Middle East, obviously. Note on Middle East markets, the promise of prediction markets is to harness the wisdom of the crowd and create authentic, unbiased forecasts. Okay, that's just a note. The ability, blah, blah, blah. So can I on this market? if I click in, so this is one of those outcome markets. So how do I, on this one? So apparently there's an attack yesterday. Let's see what this is. Okay, well, that is not readable for me. So I don't know what IDF officials are. So this market's obviously like ripping up as of today that there's an attack. So that would indicate that there was some sort of attack, but unconfirmed by multiple reports. Let's see what we can find on this. Let's just search strike on Lebanon. So this is a Lebanese reporter. Israeli troops kill municipal workers. So yeah, it looks like it's confirmed. This was 6 hours ago. Let's listen in.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Israel has tightened its military posture along the northern front, while Lebanon issued direct orders to confront any Israeli incursion. Across-border Israeli raid, a Lebanese civilian killed. Is this the opening move towards a new Lebanon war, or a high-pressure standoff where every step is calculated? Here's a report.
Israel and Hezbollah are back in a deadly standoff with new military signals and political warnings marking a sharp escalation. On 29 October, Israel confirmed it sent troops across the border into Blida in southern Lebanon. During that operation, a Lebanese municipal employee was shot dead. Lebanese officials call it a ceasefire violation and an unprovoked killing. Lebanese army troops arrived after the Israeli unit withdrew. No direct clash, but a blunt warning shot across the border. Soon after, Hezbollah praised President Joseph Aoun for ordering the army to confront Israeli incursions, a rare moment of full public alignment between the state and the group. The incident comes as Israeli media report that Israeli army is preparing for a possible wide-scale operation against Hezbollah.
Still Hezbollah, like, yeah. This Venezuela thing too. Yeah, so it looks like they striked, and it's just a matter of when this will be resolved. This market will resolve, yes, if Israel initiates a drone, missile, or airstrike on Lebanese. So it sounds like that just happened. So. What is a tomahawk? What is this? Elon Musk says he'll reveal proof of aliens on Joe Rogan if found. So it's a whole lot of nothing, right? 4% chance that they confirm aliens, which is still insane. So in 100 different scenarios, 4 of them. If we run the end of the year 100 times, essentially, what Polymeric says is 4 times we confirm aliens, which really, there's no way that aliens don't exist in my head. There's some crazy thing like there's, I don't know, like trillions of different galaxies and just the one planet in the thousands of galaxies out there we live on. Obviously, there's life, and there's no one else out there. It's just no shot. So there's 100% his, and we just gotta figure out who, really, right? Why can't I grok this one? Not a bad idea. That's like, there's got to be so much insider trading on these type of things. It's like where you can go and cause these things, like streaker on the field at the World Series last night. Like, was that a poly market before? Like, as if it is, that guy obviously took the over. Like, okay, sorry, we're back. I might take this one. Like, there 100% is. It's just a matter of time of when we announce it and what the extent of them are. Like, there 100% is. Like, where can I find that clip of, like a what?
What is the percent chance that aliens have already found out about Earth and who we are?
100%.
I'm not authorized to comment.
You were authorized. Jared, fight him.
Here we go.
Okay.
So aliens may be vastly more intelligent than we are. In fact, anyone ever portrayed in the film is clearly that because they figured out how to get here.
Correct.
And we haven't left low Earth orbit in 50 years.
100%. If they figure out how to get here and know that we exist, they're going to be way smarter than us. So they're just not making contact. It's 100%. There's definitely a low, like, you think of the time span at which humanity got to this point. There's someone out there that's way past us, 100%.
So
Hey,
they're
we're
clearly smarter,
Okay.
and they're probably stronger than us. You have people shooting their guns at the spaceship. Like, come on. All right. So the question is, why would we think they would be interested in us at all?
What is the percent chance that aliens have already found out about?
The Bible talks about angels and demons, so obviously there's some type of non-human life that's real. The moral relativist says
Yeah,
morality
like, where
is
does-
relative.
Where do these ideas come from if they're not, like, somewhat based in truth? Like, I think that market is going to come to yes at some point. It's just like, how does it get... First of all, when it comes about, is it like in some, like, insane, like, terror type of thing, like in the movies? Or is it like, yeah, we've known about this for years, which is probably, in my opinion, what's more likely. 100, like, I think they probably know that something exists out there. Just some of these weird things that have happened, and you see all this stuff in the movie, in the news, like, about UFOs and people that are pretty credible saying stuff like that. So I think it definitely exists. See what's out here on the sports world now. So my Blue Jays lost last night. See how these markets are trending right now. It loads for me. So let's see. A lot of live college football right now. Any upsets? There's esports markets. Crazy. All right, let's see what's here. Dodgers are favored here. 57% chance of Dodgers winning tonight. They announced Otani is on the mound against Max Scherzer. Spreads plus total. Saw this. So like yeah, I would take this right now. This might be my bet of the stream here. I think the Jays take it tonight. Yamamoto is insane. They shut him down last night. The Jays' bats have been alive, besides Yamamoto. Even last night, though, they had some chances. The Dodgers' bats have not been alive at all. They only scored last night because of that one inning. Gosman left to pitch up to Mookie Betts, and that's all the runs they had. Mookie Betts has been awful. Gosman left a fastball right to the middle to him. That's the only thing that happened. I take this. I love that. I'm gonna take it. Okay, I gotta set that up. Not on stream. Out as CEO. There's a finance. Let's see some crypto things. Bitcoin has been very disappointing over the past couple months. I thought it would really rip up. MetaMask is launching a token. I saw that. Feels like everyone's going to now. So will by December. So probably not this year. It's looking like gonna be early next year. These tokens are garbage, guys. Like, don't buy these. These are so garbage. Like this one, I guess. Like at least there's some probably cash flow behind MetaMask. Like how is that going to work? Is it a tokenized equity? We're gonna try throwing this into. Yeah, it's a good idea. Hyperliquid is one of the ones where it's a native DeFi asset that has really good upside, in my opinion. So $100. What are we trading at right now? Trading at $43 right now on Hyperliquid, and I believe it's traded all the way up to, yeah, like 54 this year, which is an all-time high, obviously. $100, 7% chance, 70, less than 20. Yeah, like I honestly really like 24% seems high though. I don't take that. check out some geopolitics to wrap it up here. Any big movers here? Venezuela. So this is one I've been hearing a lot about. All right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up there. Still figuring out the bugs here. Gonna come back with some plans, but would love to know what you guys liked, didn't like, things like that.